digital radio, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Donut Bag presented by The Sportscast.
The Donut Bag, hosted by Joey Bag of Donuts. And here's your host, Joey Bag of Donuts.
Oh boy, I gotta. Hi, welcome to the Donut Bag Podcast, part of the Sportscast Network. If you'd like to please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. It is very frustrating because I don't know. I get this a lot on Twitter. I get messages from people saying, "Hey, I'm part of a podcast competition. You want to vote for me?" And it's just some freaking scam. It's a virus.
Mm.
Did you ever get these things?
I haven't, but yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah, I see. The thing is, when you're small enough, no one comes after you. See, you're big and famous.
You're it's really frustrating. I mean, the reason why I bring it up is because I actually want people to like and subscribe. I have a lot of followers and not as many subscribers. So I would please subscribe to the Donut Bag Podcast on YouTube. Please. I see, and I can't go to people. I can't go to people and like message them and say, "Hey, please subscribe to me," because of this whole scam thing. So
right.
Just please like and subscribe. Please just subscribe. You don't even have to be notified. You don't even have to watch. Just subscribe. That's all.
And remember, subscribing on YouTube is free. I know it's a weird thing because you're subscribing, and subscribing you think I'm paying. No, it just means I'm following this person on YouTube. It's a follow on YouTube.
That's right. It's just a follow
easy.
on YouTube.
You just hit the. You know what? Everyone has a YouTube login because pretty much everyone has a Gmail account.
Oh, really? It's
they're
the same thing.
It's the same. They're all owned by Google, so it's the same thing. Yeah.
Interesting. I did not. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So you log in, you'll probably be automatically logged in because that's how Google runs things. Because majority of people use Chrome. Again, same login, and just hit that subscribe. But like you said, you don't have to hit the bell.
Yeah,
just hit subscribe.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to be notified.
No, and if let's say you listen to it by audio, like I do on the programs I'm not on, I normally listen to audio. But let's say if there's something you want to see something. Or if you happen to follow Joe on the social medias and you see the little clips that come out and you're like, I want to see more of that clip. It's on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all on YouTube. We're on Spotify, all the podcasting things. Mm-hmm. And if you'd like to comment. Now, I think there's a problem with Twitter right now. I know they've been like up and down all day. So we might be just speaking into we might be just be talking to each other, Dave, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But the main topic. Oh yeah, I gotta bring up the main.
And by the way, you want to watch on YouTube because you want to see the AI background that I created of a Steeler player yelling at Ben Roethlisberger.
Is that it looks like
it's not Joey Porter Jr. It's not it isn't exactly Joey Porter Sr. But there's only so much they can do. But they did make Ben look like Ben at least.
So you told AI, "Hey, I want a Steeler player yelling at
I want a Steeler player."
And Ben is just taking it. He's just standing there.
Yeah, I said I want a Steeler player yelling at Ben, who's the Steeler player yelling being 55, and I want a bunch of other Steelers backing up Ben.
So as another aside, were you ever a fan of soap operas?
Oh yes, please. Yes. I mean, I think I'm and certain other people are of the age that when you got sick and you stayed home from school, right? Okay, Price is Right, various game shows, but also Days of Our Lives, Young and the Restless,
General
if you
Hospital.
General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful. You had it's whatever. If your parent watched a soap opera, it's whatever they liked.
Yeah, yeah. My mom watched a bunch of them, but she was obsessed with Days of Our Lives. And therefore I was obsessed with Days of Our Lives. And I'm talking like I'm like 9, 10, 11 years old. And we're watching these soap operas. And one time one of the people said it was Hope she was wearing uh a pillow because she was pretending to be pregnant because she couldn't be with bad boy Bo, so she was dating some rich old guy. And by the way, she's like, I don't know, 17 years old or something like that, and she's pretending to be pregnant. And then somebody confronts her and says, "Are you really pregnant?" And she said, "No, I'm a virgin." And I turn to my mom and say, "Mom, what's a virgin?" And she's like, I'm like, "Oh, does this have something to do with sex? Never mind, I don't care." So that was really awkward. But yeah, I was obsessed, and really pro wrestling is a soap opera.
Exactly.
If it's done right. My favorite soap opera thing was a few years ago. It was Mandy something.
Mandy Rose.
Mm-hmm. That big fat guy.
Otis.
Ooh, and
yeah.
And
who
was the other woman?
Oh, it was Sonya Deville.
Yeah. And that was really good. Oh, and Dolph Ziggler was involved too. That was really cute, and I love that. And then they just dropped the ball with all those people.
Well,
really. But
no, I'll say this: when we got down between Mandy and Sonya, and there was going to be loser shaves their head match after the whole Otis blow up.
Okay,
they had to drop it because in real life, the person who plays Sonya Deville was being stalked by somebody.
That was really bad.
And she was having a court appearance probably coming up.
Somebody, and they were like went into her house or something like that, right?
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was such a shame. That was disgusting. Yeah.
And they were like, "Look, we can't shave your head if you're going to go into court. You'll look crazy explaining that, oh, I shaved my head for the role I'm in wrestling."
Right.
They thought, okay, we don't want to do that. And then they had to do weird stuff. And then I know we're not in sewer stuff. And then Mandy got an OnlyFans. And then WWE said, "Oh, that's too salacious for us. We have to drop you as a performer, even though you're one of our champions." And they fired her because she had an OnlyFans.
Meanwhile, she makes 100 times more on her OnlyFans that she does.
Oh yeah,
on making working for WWE, and
she doesn't have to get hit all the time.
Exactly, putting a lot less strain on her body. So yeah, when I mean there could be when wrestling's good, it could be soap opera. Anyway, we talk about that because the Steelers have had their own soap opera this week. My goodness, Joey Porter Sr. was on the Cam Hayward podcast and basically went off on Ben Roethlisberger and James Harrison, because Ben Roethlisberger on his podcast, and all Ben said was, "Oh, maybe Tomlin should retire. Maybe he should go coach Penn State or something like that." It was very mild. Harrison was a lot more critical of Tomlin.
Oh yeah,
but Joey Porter Sr. just went after them, and especially Ben. He said things like out of anybody that should talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk Steelers business, because if we're talking Steelers business, his ass is foul of all foul. Like that bleep that he did is foul of all foul. He is not a good teammate. Won a Super Bowl with him, but the person not a good teammate. Like, he knows that. Everybody in the Steeler building knows that, but we protected him because I've only won one Super Bowl. That was my quarterback. So I do love my quarterback. Yeah. But is he a good person? No. What the heck? What? I don't understand why he did this. Just, I mean, okay, if he's going to go after everybody that criticizes Tomlin, if we're all going to form a line, it's going to be that line will cross all like almost all over the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the only thing I can think of, and I just pulled this up to double check, he only played for the Steelers until 2006.
Yes.
So he got young Ben. You know, and
who was horrible.
Oh yeah, yeah. And without getting into legal things, it wasn't just on the field. There was kids. If you're younger, you don't remember some of the stuff about what some of the things were brought up about Ben. It was bad, very bad, and it's one of those things that, you know, literally. Oh, here you're a very successful young player with so much money. You only lost one game your rookie year. You won the Super Bowl the second year. You're going to be beyond full of yourself. And as we kind of know, especially if you're a high-level quarterback, even though it was Miami of Ohio, you're coddled as a high-level quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got the special treatment. And you probably got special treatment in high school. So, you know, you got
probably
someone
before that.
Oh, yeah. You got someone's coddled. Now, I didn't say he didn't work hard, but still coddled more and given leeway that the average person would.
I would imagine all elite athletes got zero accountability. I'll bet whatever they did, you know, traffic ticket, whatever infraction they did, you just like, oh, hey, you're a star. Never mind. You know, you don't have to, you know, take tests or whatever, or work hard in school if you don't need to. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things you skate by when you're an elite athlete.
Right.
And when you're a quarterback, it's even bigger. And when you're a star quarterback, it's even bigger. Now, usually when you get to the NFL, you say, okay, that humbles you a little bit. It was like, because every, you know, rookie experiences what the NFL is like, and it's really hard. Ben went 15-1 or something like that. So he didn't even experience bad. So then won a Super Bowl his second year. So he didn't even experience that. So yeah, there was no time. He was a horrible person. The number of people that have had a bad story about Ben Roethlisberger, there is a whole bunch. Heck, I got one. My wife was a waitress at a restaurant, and he came in with his people. Now he didn't want to be around anybody, so he wanted the section that he was in to be completely like all the tables around him to be cleared. So my wife, this is a busy Saturday morning, only had to deal with Ben Roethlisberger's table. It's like, okay, well, at least Ben Roethlisberger took care of him. No, he gave her a lousy tip after all that, and he wasn't very nice. This was early Ben, you know. So and people, so many people have stories about that, like of him being a jerk. But Joey Porter Sr. talks about how he wouldn't sign autographs and all this stuff. Yeah, and then all that stuff happened that we really don't want to talk about, but you know, some people still don't forgive him for that. And that's
honestly you know, and we might as well bring it up because if people know, there was multiple allegations of sexual assault against Ben. There were at least 2 people who came forward in separate allegations over different years that came forward.
Now that he was never charged, and it was never.
But again,
I don't even think he was sued. I don't even think it went to court or anything like that. So these
up,
are all just allegations.
Right. They were allegations, but the first one was in a small backwoods Georgia town where, I'm sorry, we know, even in larger towns, we know if you know the cops, I know I'm going to get in trouble for it. If you know the cops sometimes, if you're good friends with them, will take care of their friends. And if you're a rich person, we all know rich athletes are, like I said, they're treated differently. And again, here's the thing. It was never proven one way or the other, But with his behavior as not the greatest person in the world, people do not give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
After all, it was young Ben that also decided to ride a motorcycle without a helmet, went face first, and had to have facial reconstruction surgery. Basically, they pulled his skin off of his skull, glued his skull back together, and put his face back down. That's why young Ben and old Ben do not look like each other.
Oh wow.
Because
now,
they had had to put screws in his face and everything else.
God.
Because in that
that
motorcycle accident, he went bam. Yeah.
Okay. Now I forget. He was never accused of anything. However, he did serve, I believe, a 4-game suspension.
Yep.
One season.
He did, and the Steelers went 3-1 because I was at the game they lost to the Ravens that Charlie Batch was the quarterback of. They had the lead, and they gave up the winning touchdown on the last drive.
Wow. So they could have gone 4-0 when Ben was off. Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah, remember that's when the defense could carry a team back then.
Yeah,
the defense was good enough to carry.
That was Ben, young Ben back then. Apparently, him now is completely different. He's found religion. He seems to be. I don't know how he is with people. I don't know if he's still a jerk around people, but he does seem to be a better person now. So that's good. But why would Joey Porter Sr. bring this up? I don't know.
Yeah, especially with his son.
Well, I wonder how much that has to do with this. Yeah, I'm a big real Steelers fan. I'm embarrassed with all these retired grown men crying because so Joey Porter Sr. said that. He said that about Ben and James Harrison, and then like every former Steeler had comments, and it was like take your side. You're either pro Ben or anti Ben. Some people are like, I love Ben. Ben was great with me. He's wonderful. And people were like, yeah, he was horrible. So it was like it's like a Steeler former player civil war. And I think Ryan Clark said, like, are we like, do we need to have like a talk or something? Like, do we all need to get together and talk? I mean, it is embarrassing, and it makes the entire organization look bad. I'm not excited for our organization future. I mean, I don't know how if this. I mean, it's just salacious, old people arguing, saying bad things about each other. So that doesn't really have anything to do with the organization now, but still, it's just a real bad look.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a horrible bad look. Even Harrison has come out and said, Joey Porter shouldn't have said it, and that it's one thing for when Harrison came out again, said Tomlin, it's time. That was a business. That was him as a coach, not as a person. And Harrison even said, look, was young Ben, was he an asshole? Yes, he was. He was not a great person. He got better as he got older. But like you said, why? I mean, if Joey Porter had his own podcast or he had his own thing, I could see doing it for publicity. But his son's on the team. Now, admittedly, there's no one really connected with Ben left on the team outside of ownership. And I don't hopefully think, because honestly, Joey Porter Jr. is a very important part of that defense. He's not a backup. He's not, he is your starting cornerback who has not given up a touchdown in 2 years. So he's up for basically for his first big contract renewal, second contract. Yeah. So I don't think anything Senior said is going to affect the junior. I think it's like, when your dad does something embarrassing, it's like, Dad, could you not? I don't think anybody looks poorly on Joey Porter Jr. on this. Now, it'll get interesting if they negotiate an extension, which I'm sure they will, with Joey Porter Jr. and contract negotiations get a little bit, well, they always will. Yeah.
Heated.
Well,
then that could get interesting because Joey Porter, because then Dad could go off again and say God knows what and make things worse.
I mean, you know what? We were happy the Browns got Shadir Sanders because we wouldn't have to deal with Dion as the dad. we don't want to have Joey Porter being dad coming down. Hopefully not. I mean, I hate to say, look, I understand players have to get their bag. They have to make their money. They want to prepare for after the game, or if they're retired, they want to have a job. But sometimes everyone having a podcast, which I'm not complaining about podcasts. Podcasts are good things, but not everyone should have a podcast. Not everyone should be out there spewing stuff.
There's so many. There's so many. Not only former Steelers players that have their own podcast, but just former players in general of all teams. There's so many out there. And it's just funny because I watched that Cam Hayward podcast, and he's like, his first 2 minutes, he's going on and on about McDonald's and because they're a sponsor and stuff. It's just, this is just weird. It's like, and the thing is, we're talking about former players that have podcast. James Harrison and Joe Hayden have their own podcast.
Yep.
Trey Essex and Charlie Batch have their own podcast. Those are former players, but Cam Hayward is a current player, as far as we know, with his own podcast. I wonder, and this could not have been a surprise. Oh, what a shock that I knew he like egged him on. He like at some point, I'll bet before the podcast went live, he's like, listen, make sure you bring up what because I really want to go off on Ben and Harrison on things like that was premeditated, because I like Hayward or his co-host like threw it out there a couple times like here's the pitch, go knock it out of the park. So they knew it was coming. This is no surprise. But it's like, what does a current player hope to accomplish by just stirring up controversy? I don't get it. Do you need podcast clicks that bad? I mean, everybody was talking about it, so great, but it's like, you're talking about it for really, really bad reasons.
But honestly, though, I mean, I don't know if this is bad for the team or just whatever, or we're going to forget about it in 2 weeks or so. But this was a dead week. Super Bowl's done. The Combine's next week, right?
Yeah.
I think it's next week.
Yeah.
So nothing's going on this week.
Yeah.
So it gives everyone something to talk about.
Right.
I mean, besides us talking about, okay, so in April, what two wide receivers should they draft in April? Let's start talking about it now in February.
Right.
We'll have 8 weeks to talk about what wide receiver they should do, because the minute this draft is over, even before the season starts, people are going to start talking about next year in the 27 draft and what quarterback should they take in the 27 draft.
They already are. They already are talking about the 27 draft. And that's funny because all we did was talk about all the wonderful quarterbacks that'll be available in the 26 draft. And then look what happened to that. It's like, it's just, it never ends. The best quarterback class is always the next quarterback class. Oh, you wait till 28. Oh my God. Like come on. Just, they're either going to be there or they're not.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, this quarterback class is bad. Outside of the number one pick, who may be good, he did great this year. Outside of that, everything I'm seeing is there may be one or two additional first rounders, but they're stretch first rounders, as in if it's another year, they'd be second rounders, third rounders. So
yeah, I've even heard things about Ben Mendoza that he's not. I mean, he's going to be the number one pick, but he's not like this awesome prospect. He's good, but not awesome. So yeah. And then there's that whole thing with Ty Simpson, which is scary as hell, because to me he seems like Kenny Pickett 2.0. Like we just like yeah, he might fall he might fall to the Steelers at 21, but it's like, what does that say when there's like 10, 15 teams that need a quarterback and they're all going to pass him up? What does that tell you?
Yeah.
We don't need this again. I don't need Kenny Pickett all over again.
No. And you know what? You hear, and it's kind of like, there are certain people who are tight with the organization. And when they hear things, it's leaked from the organization without the organization saying it. And when you hear people say, well, they're either going to take a wide receiver or a quarterback in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
To that tells me, yeah, they're going to take a wide receiver in the first round, because there are, I'm not deep into it. I'm not heavy in the college, who are the best in the seeing. And again, the combine, they're going to be running around and people are going to be like, oh my goodness, look how quick he is running. Or, look at his vertical leap. But there are good wide receivers that they can get in that first round, even without moving up. They maybe can't get the best of the best, but they can get excellent ones. And then they can get good ones in the second and third round. So I'm kind of excited about what they can build.
Yeah, it is exciting because they have 12 picks. So
they have 12 picks and a ton of money.
And a lot of cap space too.
Mm-hmm.
So they could do everything. They could fill up every hole but the quarterback.
Yeah.
And then we have another year of Aaron Rodgers. I'm not thrilled about it, but oh well. And then next year you get your quarterback.
Here's the thing about another year of Aaron Rodgers. He seemed, everything we heard, a good teammate. He wasn't on McAfee. You never heard him talk outside of the game. It looked like he was all in. From everything you hear when Tomlin told him he was leaving, that hit him hard. Honestly, him coming back, no, he was not the Aaron Rodgers of old. Guess what? He's over 40. He's not going to be that. But he, other than one or two bad games, which you're going to get from almost anyone, I don't think he was a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
And, with a different offensive scheme, with a number 2 and 3 wide receiver, have Calvin Austin as your number 3, as your speedster, and have DK on one side and have a couple rookies going for wide receiver 2, and maybe, and then that way you can maybe throw over the field in the middle of the field. There's an entire middle of the field. There's Pat Freiermuth, who you can throw to over the middle and do really good. This team, I don't think, is a crash and burn team. This is not a Jets team. This isn't a Browns team. This is a team that is rebuilding and not crashing to rebuild. So then they're plugging in spots. Are they a good team? No, they're an average team. They've been an average team, which I know pisses a lot of people off, being an average team. But I think about the last few years of quarterback. Ben was hurt, right? It was old Ben. Ben was hurt in 2019, right? You somehow won with Duck Dodges. Duck Dodgers, if you will, of the 24th and a half century. And then you had Kenny Pickett. Then you had Ben's last year where he started okay, then he completely broke down, which shouldn't shock anyone.
Yeah, he was old.
Yeah, he was old. He was coming back from major surgery. And the way Ben played, Ben did not play like Tom Brady, where, oh, someone's coming near me, I'll throw it away, ignoring how the refs also called the game for Tom Brady. Ben was like, oh, here's a giant lineman. I will push him away or take a hit and try to throw it as he's tearing me down. And then you had the Kenny Pickett saga and Mitch Trubisky. And, then you had 24 with the Russell Wilson being injured, maybe because he was pushing a blocking sled.
Yeah.
And then Justin Fields, who looked not horrible, but then we found out when he went to the Jets, yeah, They were, there was a reason why they were kind of playing real nice with them. The Steelers have not had a good young quarterback who isn't in his first year with the team. When was the last time they had a good quarterback that wasn't like, oh, this is my first year with the team, I'm learning? It was way back in 2017, 2018 with Ben.
Right.
So it's been a long time. So they've been juggling, older quarterbacks, injured quarterbacks, new quarterbacks, trying to figure out who's the number one quarterback. If we have Aaron Rodgers coming back, hey, here's your number one quarterback. We know that going in. Here's someone who, it's a new head coach, new system, but he's familiar with Mike McCarthy. So it isn't brand new for him. There's hope. The defense did not collapse this year like they did last year. They were not and as much as that playoff loss hurt, remember in the beginning of the fourth quarter, it was still 7-6.
Right.
It was a blowout,
right?
But it wasn't a blowout until the fourth quarter. And I hate to say it, if the Steelers somehow would have won that game against Houston,
I think they're going to the Super Bowl.
They're going Super Bowl.
Yeah.
New
England wasn't that good.
Stupid. No.
New England wasn't that good. They probably would have won that, and then they would have faced the Broncos in Denver with their starting quarterback. So yeah, it wouldn't have been New England getting blown out in the Super Bowl. It would have been the Steelers getting blown out. Woo!
Woo! And I hate to say it, New England, in my mind, that Super Bowl was not a blowout. It was boring, and there was no chance of New England winning because that Seattle defense was crazy. But Seattle's offense was not that great until later on. It was a bunch of field goals.
I know.
That's the kind of game that the Steelers win.
I know it's a whole different thing between week 2 and the Super Bowl, but the Steelers did play the Seahawks, and they also kept that game kind of close, for, up in the second half. Then it got away. That was the Caleb Johnson screw up in the end in the kickoff game, and
then everything fell apart.
So yeah, maybe we wouldn't have got blown out. Maybe we would have lost in a close game, but we're definitely losing. But still, we could have gone to the Super Bowl if a few things went right.
Yeah. Again, and I mean, I know a lot of people were talking about we need the tank. I understand the feeling. I 100% understand the feeling. New England's really the only team, and I don't think New England tanked. They just didn't play good.
They didn't intentionally tank. They just sucked.
No,
they had they had a lousy coach, and I think they also had dealt with old man Belichick,
and bad, and before Drake May and Drake May. Like I said, I'm really curious to see how New England will do next year with a number one schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Now, admittedly, they do have the major advantage of having both the Jets and the Dolphins in their division.
And it looks like the Dolphins are tanking again.
Yeah. So
and the Jets are the Jets. So yeah, that's 4 easy wins right there.
Exactly, or probably 3. It's a weird thing. Like Cleveland will have 2 division wins and only 4 overall in the season because division wins. But yeah, I mean, it would not shock me to see New England not make the playoffs next year.
Oh.
But
totally.
But again, the Bills they got rid of their coach and they promoted the offensive coordinator who's a moron. So I don't know. The AFC East is so messed up.
But it's going to be harder because Baltimore is not going to suck 2 years in a row. The Chiefs are not going to suck 2 years in a row. The Bengals are probably going to be better, and the Bills might be. So I mean, there's a lot of obstacles that the New England's going to have to overcome. So it's like, oh well, they did bad this time. Don't worry, they'll be better the next time they make the Super Bowl. I don't think they might not be in next time the Patriots make the Super Bowl.
No, and for everyone, I mean, and I heard a bunch of New England people on this, and you kind of want to say one name to them, and that's Dan Marino.
Mm-hmm. That's
Dan
right.
Marino made it his second year in the league, and he never got back.
Yeah.
Never. I mean, none of those Dolphin teams that he was on, you thought were Super Bowl contenders.
Right.
They weren't bad teams, but you never thought, oh, they're the favorites to go to the. No. No. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, would it shock me? I would say this. Would it shock me if Kansas City is below average again? No. At what point do they start aging out? And the fact that Denver is a good team. We all agree that, if Denver's quarterback doesn't break his leg, Denver wins. Because they almost won with a backup. The Chargers are a good team.
Right.
They're not that bad. So
Jacksonville's
the
a good team.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the AFC West.
Oh yeah.
There are two right now good teams who aren't the Chiefs. So the Chiefs could miss the playoffs, and this could just be Mahomes being okay. This is your, not only are you starting to slow up a little bit, but the rest of your team is aging out and getting older. It happens. Not everyone is Brady who's going to win for 20 years.
Right.
That is unusual.
Yeah, that was the anomaly.
Yeah, and I think everyone's kind of saying that with the Chiefs, like, oh, they're just going to go and they're going to be the new Patriots. Mahomes is maybe a excellent, maybe one of the best ever quarterbacks, but not for 20 years.
Right. It's a natural thing that as you get older, you're not as good, you're not as strong, you're not as fast.
Mm-hmm.
Things break down. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we have anomalies. Brady is an anomaly, in hockey. Sid is an anomaly.
He really is. Yeah.
No one should be.
You're not supposed to be this good at 38 years old as a hockey player. Like,
no,
it's very rare.
But I mean, like, same thing with like Mahomes. It could be that, like I said, Travis Kelce, he's aging out as a big tight end. At what point are you like, you know what? My body's given up. Gronkowski, he came back for that 1 year for Tampa Bay. They had that one magic year, but how much of that was him and how much of that they had an amazing team around him and they could use him here and there, for Gronk. And that was it. Tight ends, big guys who get hit, who have to block, you age out.
We just got a dog, a puppy, and he's Here you go. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Oh, can you pick him up? Okay, never mind. He's I think it was the first time my wife was on the podcast too. Yeah, we just got unfortunately about a month ago, Sophie passed away. She had to endure during football games. She wondered why Daddy was screaming about the highest paid defense. She didn't understand what was going on. So we'll see how this little guy is. But yeah, he's a Chihuahua mix, and he's only 5 pounds, and he's a little chocolate thing. And I haven't had a puppy in a long time, so this is just wild that it's training a dog is something I haven't done in like 25 years. So this is a whole new, this is a very different experience for me. Yeah, that dog does whatever the hell he wants. But anyway, that's a good strategy. Just and obviously they're not going to draft 12 players.
No.
So what do you do? Do you just trade for next year, or do you? I don't know.
I'm thinking trade up. I'm thinking honestly.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I could see them saying, we want maybe trading up, maybe in the first round a bit. Trading to the mid-teens from 21, but also trading up in the early second round. Like I said, you got 12 picks. You can bundle 3 and 4th rounders and maybe switch a second rounder or pick up a second rounder, maybe move up in the first, and then say, okay, here is our 4th round, 5th round, or 3rd round and 4th round for this year, and we want your second rounder next year. Because that way next year they could say, okay, we filled inside linebacker, we filled our second wide receiver, We filled cornerback. We filled safety, which is my mind the four kind of big things they need. And we filled this. We filled this. We brought in a couple of veterans. We brought enough, people we can bring in as backups, and we can rotate, not just have one person. Okay, good. We are in decent shape right now, except for quarterback for the future. Good. We can say to a team next year, we'll give you our first, second, and fourth rounder for the number 3 pick overall, because we're good everywhere else. You go up and you grab that.
Yeah. I was just looking at a mock draft, and it had 4 wide receivers going in the first round. And this mock draft actually has the Cowboys draft at 20, and they took a wide receiver right before the Steelers. So if the Steelers are going to, and the first wide receiver that went was like pick 13. So if the Steelers are going to want a wide receiver, they're probably going to have to move up in the first round. So there's some, there's one reason to trade up. So yeah.
You know what though? Why would, and I just brought it up, the Cowboys are, that's Jerry's world, but they already have.
Why would they want a wide receiver? Because Jerry Jones, that's why.
Yeah, they already have basically 2 number 1s.
Right.
Assuming you
assuming we don't know what's going to happen with George Pickens.
That's true.
He's because they're going to try to say, well, George, we're going to put the franchise tag on you and you're going to make a lot of money this year. He's like, oh no, you probably say that's unacceptable. How dare you insult me with $30 million or whatever. I want a 10-year $1 billion contract or something like that. So it's who knows what's going to happen with him. But yeah, also these people that make mock drafts also sometimes don't know what the heck they're talking about. This mock draft had the Steelers taking a cornerback in the first round. Like, what do we really need a cornerback that bad? I mean,
yeah, like I said, if there was a top flight safety, I could see it. Inside linebacker, but it would have to be like a game changer,
right?
For a first round pick, you want, of course, a game changer. There's still wide receivers that you could take, even if 4 of them go in the first round. 5 through 10, probably you can find a game changer there. The Steelers are great. I don't know about anymore. That was more of a Tomlin thing, but hey, we got a wide receiver in the 3rd round, in the 6th round, and one that we picked up off the street. And by the way, they're Pro Bowler players now.
Right.
Antonio Brown was a 6th round draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was a Tomlin thing, taking people that's nobody else would take and make something good out of them. But that also backfired on us. So
that is true, yeah.
So we'll see.
And it's a different thing, especially with colleges. And I'm trying to remember the college, but someone sued to come back to college as a quarterback.
The quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah, and he won his case, and he's going back for his 6th year.
See, to me, that's ridiculous, because if I'm an NFL team, and I mean that guy was like he went after like case after case after like appeal after appeal, like he was fighting like crazy.
It's literally the kid. College. Yeah, it's literally the kid that you're dropping off at kindergarten, holding on to the car handle. Right. Don't put me there. No, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave.
And if I'm an NFL team, I'm like, why do we want you, dude? Like you care. You clearly don't want to be, because I mean, he could easily say, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to the NFL. And he's like, no, I want to go back to college. And it's like, okay, fine. It's like, enjoy your money now, because you're not going to make much. I wouldn't want him on my team.
No. Yeah. I mean, and also he's 23 now, so he'll be 24. Now, I know there's older quarterbacks now, but after playing for so many years, quarterbacks' arms are like baseball pitchers' arms. You're throwing that hard over and over and over from high school on, and not only taking a beating, but all the practice throws. The arm only has so much in it you could do like that. And at what point do you think, oh, you played college for so long, we don't think you're going to have a long NFL career. We're not going to give you a number one, an early first round draft pick because you're only going to be around for 3 or 4 years.
Right. It's like, when you're an old quarterback, you're not going to be around for a while. So like, and the crazy thing is, if he did come out this year, and we just talked about it was a weak quarterback class.
Yeah.
You have 1, maybe 2 quarterbacks going in the first round. He would have easily been a first rounder, and he easily would have made a lot of money. Yeah. So it's not just about money, unless he thought that he wasn't any good and going to 3rd, 4th, 5th round or whatever. But he probably would have been a first rounder.
Or if he would have thought, hey, I just brought up the draft order. I'm the number 2 quarterback. That means I'm going to the Jets.
You know what? Then he made the right choice.
Because it's the Raiders, the Jets, the Cardinals, and they all need quarterbacks.
Right. Right. The Jets. Yeah, I would do everything to avoid going to the Jets. That is a joke of a franchise. And I mean, they're the ones that the owner just said, "Oh, all these players are making a report card about us. We don't like that it's public. So we're gonna demand that they don't do this anymore." Like really? Somebody dares criticize you, so you suppress them? Like that's just so immature.
Well, it's what rich people do.
Yeah.
I mean, all owners are beyond wealthy. You have to be beyond wealthy to be an owner. And we all know when you get to the CEO level and they're get all this money, you criticize them. A good CEO should say, okay, is it valid? And if it's valid, how do I have to change? But these are rich people who are not used to being told no. And then all of a sudden it gets to where, what do you mean? No, I know better than this. They're all idiots. I'm smart. They're wrong.
Right.
Boom.
Right. And when you're either surrounded by yes men or what? And it's like somebody dares criticize you. It's like, well, it's just funny that, most of these people, these owners have done something smart to make all this money, unless they inherited it or whatever. And they seem to, like, regardless of the sport, seem to make the dumbest decisions for like it's like sports makes us dumb or something like that. And like when I screw up my fantasy football team, that's one thing. I'm not, I might lose $10, but this is billions of dollars we're dealing with, and they just, they just do the dumbest things. But anyway, we will see. Now, what do you think Ben Roethlisberger? Because we've seen what James Harrison has said.
Yeah.
And he basically now I actually thought that Joey Porter had a valid criticism of Harrison, because James Harrison, he said, Joey Porter said, James Harrison, you were nothing under Bill Cowher, and you became a superstar under Tomlin. So why are you so mad at Tomlin? But yeah. And then Harrison responded and I think Ben has no choice but to address it. But I think he's going to take the high road. I don't think he's going to. He's probably going to say, "Oh yeah, I was a jerk, but I love Joey and blah blah blah, and that's just how he is, blah blah blah. We're all friends, blah blah blah." Something. I mean, because they were just in the Hall of Honor ceremony. They went in together, and they were all buddy then. So
unless something happened then,
maybe.
They were buddy. Something happened, and
maybe there was a dinner and a buffet, and he took all those little hot dog things or whatever, or
someone drank a little too much, and then we all know what happens when old guys start drinking too much. You say stuff.
Could be
all of a sudden, or you take something the wrong way, or you take something away that never was actually said, but you thought was said.
Right. Right.
And then all of a sudden he's pissed off and he's going around.
Yeah.
Who knows? We will never know the truth. We will never know the truth. Ben should take the high. In fact, Ben should have Joey Porter Sr. on his podcast.
Well, that would be perfect. Yeah. You know, I really want to see on Ben's podcast is Mason Rudolph, because I think they legit hate each other's guts. So
Oh yeah,
that would be perfect. But that's
and that is one time that older Ben did not show the better person as a professional.
Yeah. Him being angry. That
How dare you bring in another quarterback? Do you?
I've
know
only
who
been
I
here
am?
15 years. How dare you think that I'm not going to be here for 100? What's wrong with you? How dare you bring in a replacement? And I think Mason probably didn't handle that well, because we were just talking about how when you're a star athlete, you get coddled, and then when you're a star athlete quarterback, you're even more coddled. And I think he came in really cocky and
he's thinking he was like the heir apparent. He's like, I'm coming in. Okay, Ben's going to be here for another year or two. I'll learn underneath him and I'll just take over.
Right.
And who knows what he was told by Tomlin and Colbert at the time. They may have been like, hey, we see you as a possible future guy. We know Ben's getting up there in age. You know, we like you to learn underneath and show what you can do type thing. Who knows what they told him too.
Yeah. So we will see. So those hopefully now Ben doesn't put out a podcast every week, because he hasn't put one out in almost 2 weeks. So but he's going to have to soon. So
and the thing is, hopefully next week we'll be able to talk about actual football, and we can talk about, we can oogle at people. We can look at defensive linemen and offensive linemen running 40-yard dashes.
No. I want to know what the third string cornerback in 2013 has to say about Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, there are people that are like, dude, you were a backup, okay?
Yeah,
like, you played like 5 snaps.
They're pulling everyone wants their 15 minutes.
Right. Let's see.
We want the guy on the practice squad.
There should be. I was going to say there should be a podcast called The Practice Squad, where all the people that were on the practice squad get together. It's like, hey, remember that time we practiced? Because we never got in a game. So, man, how about the Gatorade that one time? How about, man? Could you believe they went the orange that one day? Woo! Yeah,
man. You remember when we actually played at training camp?
Right.
Wow.
That was, oh my god, that preseason game, I was a baller. Oh my god. Yeah, we're hearing from everybody right now, so hopefully that all dies down and we can actually focus on football again. All right, well, thanks for coming on, Dave. I'd like to say thanks for everybody that listened, but I think nobody, it was never even put out that like on Twitter it just says he's live, but usually it has a thing there's just problems with the thing. So you're gonna have to. So this is a bigger reason to subscribe to either to YouTube or Spotify or whatever.
Let's say YouTube is stable,
right?
Twitter, the only comments we've gotten been stable for the last couple of years. We know YouTube, because it's backed by Google, is stable. So yes, come to the chat. There's always someone in chat on YouTube.
Right. Make
a chat, and Joey will put your chat on screen.
Well, yeah, that's true. I will. All right. Thanks, everyone. I will see you.
Have a good one, everyone.
You too.